Hello students, myself Archana Varude from Praveen Patel College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. In last video, we are learned about the pumping methods, and in this video we are going to learn about the different types of pumping methods, what is meant by optical pumping, and how the helium neon laser is produced. First we see that what is by pumping. Here, the definition of pumping is the process of raising the atoms from lower energy state to the higher excited state is called as pumping. We know that for production of laser beam, spontaneous emission is required, and for spontaneous emission, the atoms in higher energy state should be greater than that atoms present in lower energy state, and the process in which the atoms are raised from lower energy state to the higher energy state is called as pumping methods. And there are different pumping methods to achieve that population inversion, and some methods are: first is optical pumping, second is direct electron excitation, third is inelastic atom-atom collision, and fourth is chemical reaction. Now we study what is the optical pumping method. For that, observe this diagram. Here we know that there are different energy states. Here lower energy state is called as ground energy state, or that ground energy level. Then after that, here these are the different energy states, and here the energy of these levels are higher as compared to the ground energy state. And we know that at normal temperature the atoms remain in that ground energy state, and when photon of energy h nu is incident on metal atom, then metal atom absorb the total energy of that incident photon and it get excited. That means here transition takes from lower energy state to higher energy state, and this is the excited state. But here we know that atom will not remain for permanently in that excited state. It will remain for short time or longer time in that excited state, and after completion of that lifetime it returns to the ground energy state. And here this is the ordinary excited state, because here that atom remain in that excited state for a shorter time, and then after that it returns to this second energy state, that is called as metastable state, because here that atom will remain in that excited state for a longer time. And here after completion of lifetime, here it returns to the ground energy state. But suppose before completion of lifetime, suppose another photon is incident, then due to that there is a transition between that photon and that excited atom, and due to that here two photons having same energy, same wavelength and same direction, they are emitted, and here due to that laser beam is produced. So here this is energy level E1, here these are the atoms, then energy level E2 and energy level E3. Here first that atom is in lower energy state. When photon of energy h nu is incident, then atom get excited, they goes in the higher energy state. Then here this is the ordinary excited state, because atom remain in this excited state for a short time. Then after that there is a transition from E3 to E2, and here this is called as a metastable excited state. And here before completion of lifetime, if another photon is incident, then here there is a transition between that incident photon and these excited atoms, and due to that two photons having same frequency, same wavelength and same direction are emitted, and that is called as a laser. So here this is the brief introduction about optical pumping. Here we know that pumping means the process of raising the atoms from lower energy state to higher energy state. That is called as a pumping method. And in this optical pumping method, here the process of raising the atoms from lower energy state to higher energy state by using light medium is called as a optical pumping. That means here light medium is used. And for proper lasing action can be produced using 3 energy level laser system than that of 2 energy level laser system. See here, these are the 3 energy level system E1, E2 and E3. And here in optical pumping, photon of energy H nu is incident, then because of which atoms get excited from energy level 1 to the energy level 3. And here atoms relax for very short time and hence makes transition to the energy level 2. And this transition is not in the visible range, and therefore energy level 2 is a metastable state and hence atoms relax here for the longer time. And here then population of energy level 2 becomes more than that of the level 1, and therefore you can say that here population inversion is done. And if atom is triggered due to an action of the incident photon of energy h nu, then as excited atom gets stimulated and follows downward transition from level 1 to level 1, and during this transition the atom emits a photon along with the incident photon in the same direction, and which produces unidirectional, intense, monochromatic and coherent laser radiations. And here this is the production of laser beam by using optical pumping method. Now we see what is my helium neon gas laser. He means helium, Ne means neon, helium neon gas laser. Here this diagram shows the construction of helium neon gas laser. Here this is the glass tube, and in that there is a mixture of helium and neon gas. That proportion is 10:1. These are the discharge electrodes. Here on another side, here fully silvered mirror is attached, and on another side partially silver mirror is attached. And here now we see the construction in brief. Here this tube consists of fused quartz tube having length of about 80 centimeter and diameter of about 1.5 centimeter, and this tube is filled with a mixture of helium and neon gas, and the mixture consists of 10 parts of helium and 1 part of neon. Hence there is a majority of helium atoms, that means 90%, and minority of neon atoms, that means 10%. And here perfect reflector is fixed at one end and partial reflector is fixed at the another end of the tube. And here the active material is excited by the means of high frequency generator. So here these are the discharge electrodes. Now we see the working. So here we know that here for proper lasing action, here 3 energy levels laser are considered. This is ground energy state, then this is E2 is second energy state, E3, E4 and E5. These are the energy states. Here first the atom is in ground energy state, and as we know that when photon of energy h nu is incident, it get excited, and here in this helium neon laser, here the lasing atoms are actually neon atoms. When by means of that discharge electrode tubes, the helium atoms get first excited, they goes in the higher energy state, and here these helium atoms transfer their energy to the neon atoms by the collision. Here the energy transmitted due to the collision of that helium atoms, they collide on neon atoms. Then also that neon atoms get excited, and after completion of lifetime they returns to the ground energy state. But when they returns to the ground energy state, then they emit the photon of energy, same frequency, same wavelength, and here therefore due to that the laser beam is produced. And here as the here an electric discharge is produced in the gas by means of electrodes outside the tube connected to a source of high frequency alternating current, and collisions with the electrons from discharge excite that helium and neon atoms to metastable states, and as the neon higher levels E4 and E6, these are the energy levels. These are close to the excited energy levels of H2 and H3 of helium, and hence the probability of helium atoms transferring their energy to the excited neon atoms through the collision is greater. You see here, this is the collision of helium and neon atoms, and thus the purpose of helium atoms is to help to achieve population inversion, and here the actual lasing atoms are neon atoms, and the laser transition in neon is from metastable state at 20.66 electron volt to an excited state at 18.7 electron volt, and this is the laser whose narrow red beam is used to the read barcodes. This is the working of helium neon laser. That's all about today's video. Thank you.